Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gondorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another Third Age Reforged online multiplayer battle replay. This one is a 2 versus 2 that was sent to me by Allfather, DF Allfather, who's going to be playing as Dorwinian today. And that's pretty much it, so we can just go ahead and go straight into the army compositions, beginning with himself. So as I already said, he's going to be playing as Dorwinian. He's got 2 units of the Elvelen Marksman here, pretty good archers. He's got 4 units of the Elvelen Infantry, very sturdy, can hold the line for a long time, but really can't deal that much damage. He's got 2 units of Morquendi Pikes, who are there to deal damage, but of course because they are pikemen, they really won't be able to withstand any missile fire of any kind. In addition to this, he's got a unit of the Morquendi Glade Lords, which I believe is his general's bodyguard right there. He's got 1 of the Nandor Glade Riders, who are a very good lancer unit that also doubles as anti-cavalry. That also doubles as an anti-cavalry unit. And I believe he's also got 2 units of the Morquendi Stalkers, who are extremely good horse archers with actually poison arrows, so they do deal a bit of morale damage to the enemy in addition to their actual arrow damage. He's also got 2 units of the Nandor Glade Guard in here, or AP Glaive Men. Very low on armor, but very high on attack stats and skill. In addition to this, I believe he has got a unit of the Morquendi Glade Masters, who are basically just the Glade Guard, just on steroids pretty much. But of course, they're more expensive and they have fewer men in unit. That'll pretty much do it for his army. So we can go over here to his allies. We're playing as Gondor, Davy Boy. He's got 1 unit of unupgraded Gondor Archers, 1 unit of the Marksmen of Carandros. He's also got, I believe, 3 units of upgraded Gondor Spearmen, 1 unit of Guards of Osgiliath Pikes, 1 unit of Fountain Guard. He gets some more spears, and I believe he also has a couple units of Gondor infantry mixed in there as well. He's also got, yeah, you can see his one Raven Helms of Carandros, very good shock infantry unit. That's not AP, but has very high skill. He's got his Citadel Guard, his 1 unit of Fountain Guard, as well as a unit of unupgraded Axemen of Lossernach, who are good AP shock infantry. In addition to this, he's got a unit of the Mithrandir's Retinue Bodyguard for his general. And he's got 2 units of the Pinithgalen Cavalry, who are actually decent lancers now. They weren't super great in 0.96.1, but in 0.97 they're actually well worth the cost in my opinion, especially because you can give them armor and attack upgrades. It doesn't look like he has the armor upgrades in this particular battle, but I know you can give them to them. So we can now go over to the enemies. We're going to be in Lattice Guard playing as Dol Amroth. He's got 1 of the Paired Hill Horse Guard, very good anti-cavalry unit, sword and shield. So not great on the charge, but they can deal with enemy cavalry very easily. He's got the Paired Hill Riders Horse Archers. He's got a couple units of the Tirith Air Lancers down here, as well as a unit of the Tarnostian Shield Guard. He's got a unit of the Haven Knights for his general's bodyguard, a very extremely deadly knight unit that is anti-cavalry. He's also got a couple units of the, actually 3 units rather, of the Edhelm Halberdiers, who are going to do very good against pretty much the entire Gondor roster. He's got 3 units of Edhelm Men-at-Arms, as well as a couple units of Dor Internal Archers, and a couple units of Tirith Air Marksmen. He's also got 1 unit of Dor Internal Marksmen, just to kind of pad out his line. And he's actually also got 1 unit of Paired Hill Champions, pretty much very similar to the Carandros Swordsmen. I don't remember what they're exactly called, but yeah, they're pretty similar. I believe the Paired Hill Champions might have slightly fewer men and slightly better stats, though. And over here we got the final army, which is going to be Safi 786501, who's going to be playing as Arthedain. He's got a couple units of Evendim Archers, 3 units of Evendim Spearmen backing up 2 units of Arthedain Pikemen, as well as 1 unit of the slightly more elite Pikemen that are the Inuminas Gate Guards. He's got, I believe, 3 units of Arthedain Men-at-Arms, as well as a unit of Dismounted Knights of Inuminas, and a unit of Knights of Inuminas as well for his general. He's got a pretty small army though, so I wouldn't really be surprised if he had some hidden units around here, like some Rangers, or perhaps some Grey Company or something like that. But that'll pretty much do it for the army cons, so we can go ahead and get the battle started off right away. And yep, sure enough, we've got some hidden units coming out right now. We got a couple of units of, no, 1 unit of Dunedain Rangers, as well as a unit of Dunedain Troll Slayers. Oh, oops, I did not mean to have it sped up that much. I was wondering why they're running so fast. And he does indeed have a unit of the Grey Company as well. You can see Gondor scrambling over to get near his ally. But right now, it looks like Arthedain is moving forward on his own. So if Dol Amroth doesn't march forward pretty quickly, Arthedain is going to find himself getting 2v1 very shortly, because you can see Gondor is coming straight up next to Arthedain to try and help out. And already the Elvelen Marksmen are beginning to open fire on the advancing Arthedain lines. Grey Company trying to scramble about the edges as well, some Arthedain Men-at-Arms. You can see, looks like Arthedain is indeed going to be trying to do a full-on rush here, which, in all honesty, probably is not the best move if he's going forward by himself, because he's going to be rushing headlong into 2 armies. You can see Dol Amroth is moving forward now, though, so that's good. They're starting to move slightly more as a team. However, Arthedain is quite far ahead of his ally, so he's going to suffer some early casualties, which could have been avoided if they had all advanced at once. Grey Company already down to 27 men remaining. Really took a lot of casualties there. And it looks like the Evendim Spearmen are going to be able to charge into the Elvelen Marksmen unless they're able to scramble away. Looks like the Elvelen Marksmen are trying to run, but they are still going to get a charge from the rear by those cheap spears. Not going to take a ton of damage from those cheap spears, but there will still be unnecessary losses. Meanwhile, we've got some Nandor Glade Guard over here with some Gondor Spearmen going to charge straight to these Arthedain men at arms, and the Nandor Glade Guard paired with these Gondor Spearmen are going to absolutely butcher those poor Arthedain men at arms. They're going to get absolutely slaughtered. Meanwhile, I've got some Elvelyn infantry and Morquendy pikes advancing to meet the Arthedain forces. And again, Dol Amroth is just back there doing nothing, so not the best play by Arthedain there. Ooh, Dunedain Trollstar is getting a nice volley into those Morquendy pikes and Elvelyn infantry, though, right before they advance into the fray of the melee. But back over here, we have got some cavalry running around. Looks like those are the horse archers trying to skirmish down a little bit of Gondor before they advance, but still not the wisest move in my opinion, because Arthedain is pushing hard here, so in my opinion, Dol Amroth should also be pushing hard, otherwise it's not going to work out very well. You can see the Troll Slayer is taking a ton of losses to all the archer fire, especially the Morquendy Stalker horse archer fire as well. Meanwhile, over here in the Forest Arthedain men-at-arms around the flank, but not really doing much. Going to maybe charge into the back of these Nandor Glade Guard and Glade Masters, but even surrounded, the Glade Guard and Glade Masters should do okay, especially because they're getting some support by these cavalrymen here, getting a charge right into the back of this Arthedain men-at-arms, actually going to rout that unit. So far, Arthedain really not looking too hot. I mean, over here they're starting to kind of flank around, but the Numinos Gate Guards are wavering, and they've got a lot of very cheap units, so in my opinion, I think Arthedain is going to lose this one very, very quickly. Unless Dol Amroth can do something quick, because so far, Arthedain is just having the toughest time. Constant cycle charges, arrows flying everywhere. The Arthedain infantry is having a real tough time against that of the Dorwinian forces. You can see Arthedain men-at-arms routing. These ones are going to get cut down fairly quickly as well. Filling Rangers actually from Gondor here as well. And yeah, over here, Dol Amroth is just being way too static. He really needs to push forward here quickly, otherwise his ally is going to be completely wiped out, besides a couple units of cavalry that you can see back there. But yeah, he really needs to start pushing here, or he needs to, like, I don't know, like camp on the hill or something, because at this point, Arthedain really needs some help. You can see Arthedain just struggling all across the board, really. You can see where their pikes are set up, they're doing slightly better, but a lot of their pikes are actually facing the wrong way. They're actually facing backwards. So they're just getting slaughtered, really, by all this Elvelyn infantry and Morquendy pikemen. And again, the Elvelyn infantry aren't going to be able to get a ton of kills, but the pikemen and the Glade Guard will. So that's really why that's really the whole reason behind the Arthedain line crumbling so quickly. I was going to say Dorwin should probably try to get some cavalry around the flanks here to recharge these infantry lines, but it looks like he's not going to be able to because of his own stakes, actually, which is unfortunate. But he will be able to send his cavalry after the archers, which is going to be very nice as well. You can see it looks like these Evenham archers might be out of ammo, but a good charge here from the Glade Riders will be able to blind them pretty well. Oh, we're actually right into the Rangers. Not a bad idea at all. I didn't even see them there. Yeah, you can see the Dunedain Rangers have actually had a skin change. I actually like this one quite a bit better than the old one. But yeah, the Nandor Glade Rider is down to only 10 men remaining. Oh, and actually broke. He should probably use his knight unit around the flank here and just try to charge straight into all of these archers and deal with them. Because you can see already, with Gondor flanking around Arthedain now, Arthedain is just in a really tough spot. And he's going to end up routing all of his infantry here, probably with these charges from the rear. The Glade Guard and Glade Master still looking pretty healthy as well. Yeah, here we go. Now I've got a good charge from the Morquendy Glade Lords, the knight unit. Charging straight into these archers. Good idea. But they should probably pull out quickly and then try to charge into the Dunedain Rangers, because those are going to be slightly more. Those are going to be, of course, more deadly than the Evendom archers. But it looks like over here, Dol Amroth is slowly making an advance upon Gondor, but not quite doing anything just so you can see his infantry and halberds just sitting here taking a lot of arrow fire. But there he is returning with his own archers here. And there's a lot of cavalry here as well. Not only the Dol Amroth cavalry, but what's left of Safety's forces is also over here. So Gondor's going to have to be careful. You can see his Fountain Guard taking a lot of losses. Of course, they're not being given any support by any shield units, so they're going to be a huge target for all of the Dol Amroth forces. You can see he's going to try to maybe chase after some cavalry. I mean, the Fountain Guard are going to be very good at killing cavalry, of course, because of their pike wall formation and their bonus against cavalry and melee. But really kind of a poor use here from Davy Boy by his Fountain Guard. Probably should have protected him with his Citadel Guard or something like that. However, speaking of Citadel Guard, going to charge headlong into the Tirthair Lancers. Spearmen going to be able to damage the cavalry very well, of course. You can see the Gondor infantry also charging in here as well. Probably not the wisest move. Probably should have waited a little bit longer so Dorwin could help him out. But he's going to do that regardless. And Gondor's infantry is just ever so slightly worse than Dol Amroth's. So if he does not have any support here from Dorwin, I believe he will probably lose. You can see he's also got some Raven Helms and some Gondor infantry around the flank here, charging to the archers. But Paired Hill Champion's going to outflank the Gondor infantry, going to cause some fear in there as well. But he has got his Rangers out on the flank, and to be able to try to pepper down a lot of these Dol Amroth infantry. And yeah, I think he probably should have waited for his ally just at least a little bit longer. Or Raven Helm's going to charge into the Edhelm Arms from the rear as well, also instilling fear. But he probably should have waited a little bit longer, just simply because of the fact that Dol Amroth has so much more cavalry. I mean, luckily for him, it looks like the cavalry isn't really doing that much. But if Dol Amroth had gotten his cavalry around the flank here and just rear charging all of Gondor, that would be very, very bad indeed. You can see Citadel Guard just completely outnumbered, getting killed by AP Edhelm Halberdiers and the like. However, he is trying to do his best with some Penithgalen cavalry, but he is charging headlong into some halberds. The infantry, of course, are going to take losses from the cavalry, but the halberds in here are going to deal massive amounts of damage to those lancers. Gondor Spearmen trying to do their best on the flank here, and yeah, Gondor just... It's an interesting fight. There's not really any real battle lines. You can see over here Gondor infantry trying to hold the line against Paired Hill champions and archers, but they're going to get cut down pretty quickly by those very skilled swordsmen. Ravenhelm surrounding these Edhelm at arms and pike halberdiers rather. And it looks like Dorwinion is now going to be entering the fray as well, trying to help out his ally. Lots of Elven infantry, Malkini pikes, and Glade Guard is running around wherever they can. You can see the Nandor Glade Guard trying to charge into the body-piercing Grey Company, but going to be unable to do so. Maybe cut down one. Nope, looks like that will not be the case. And we'll probably have to turn and fight the Tarnostian Spearmen, which even 42 of the Nandor Glade Guard will probably be able to do a great deal of damage to these Tarnostian Spearmen. Tarnostian Spearmen are not really all that good, so the AP of the Nandor Glade Guard will be able to serve them very well as long as they're not surrounded. And over here you can see Dorwin is adding his force over here to the Gondor line, trying to help out against these Paired Hill champions who are still going strong. Their very nice values really serving them well here. Gondor infantry and Dorwin infantry just slowly wrapping around these dwindling Dol Amroth forces. You can see a lot of the Dol Amroth forces are actually thinking about routing now. Some of them indeed are. Meanwhile, over here, we got Carandros from Marksman of Carandros, rather, in the fray here. They've got two-handed swords, and they've actually got really good stats as well, which is why they're slightly more expensive. Stats in melee, I mean. Got good stats in melee for archers. But they're taking some rear charges from the tier 3 lancers, so they're probably not going to do very well.
If we continue like
especially because they're fighting against AP halberdiers as well as some Edhelm at arms, in addition to some cavalry. So these poor Marksmen of Carandros not going to really do very well. Meanwhile, Nandor Glade Guard trying to chase down some cavalry of Dol Amroth. I do believe they've got a bonus against cavalry, but still. Ooh, and some good charges here from what's left of the red team's cavalry, charging to the rear lines here. However, there are a decent amount of pikemen left to the blue team, so they're going to have to be a little bit careful. You can see there's still 57 guards of Osgiliath from there. Paired Hill Loras Guard down to 16. So far, it's going to all end up being decided by the cavalry, I believe, because you can see he's still got his 25 Haven Knights too, and that's a knight unit. You can see them cutting down the last of the Penithgalen cavalry. So it's going to really be down to how well Red Team can use his cavalry if they're going to win this battle. And you can see the Glade Guard down to 20, but getting a charge from the rear by those Haven Knights going to pretty much do it in for that unit. And I'm not really sure why Allfather is not using his cavalry, because if he was using his cavalry in this fight here, he'd really be able to pretty much guarantee the win here. But because of the Gondor and Dorwin getting their rear lines constantly charged by cavalry, the victory is kind of still up in the air, in all honesty. You can see over here, Dol Amroth has just freed up a bunch of infantry so they can go elsewhere to help out. You can see Dorwinion is indeed actually committing his cavalry now. More Quindi Glade Lords against 24 Haven Knights. It'll be close, but I would think the Haven Knights will win just because they've got such a good bonus against other cavalry. You can see, yeah, the Glade Lords are already down to 17, so it's going to be a tough fight for them indeed. And yep, there goes the Dorwinion General. Ooh, it's going to be close. Again, all that cavalry might just win Red Team the battle here. You can see a lot of the Morquindi Pikes, Gondor Spearmen going down in droves. There's still 64 of those Paired Hill champions. Just such a good unit there. Really, really good. But there are still 40 Ravenhelms as well. You can see Dol Amroth trying to scramble his remaining forces, to go elsewhere, to set up a last line, really. And over here, we've still got a decent amount of blue team forces. We've got 43 guards of Osgiliath. We've still got 31 more Quindi Glade Masters. Those are going to be a real problem for the red team to deal with. Probably going to have to try to charge them from the rear with those remaining Haven Knights. It's going to have to be very scarce when he uses them. There are still some Ithilien Rangers back here, as well as a few units of archers. So probably this one is going to be won by the blue team, but it's going to be close. It looks like the Penithgalen Cavalry able to deal with the last of those tier 3 Lancers. Oh, and Mithrandir's Retinue Bodyguard back here as well. And yeah, we got some more Quindi Stalkers and Glade Lords rear charging the red team forces. Yeah, you can see the Haven Knights trying to do their best as well, but not going to be enough. And over here, I think there's just too much Elven infantry, too many pikemen, as well as a decent amount of spearmen left for the Paired Hill champions to win this fight. They'll be able to get a lot of kills, particularly on the Elven infantry who don't have very good attack stats. But it's going to pretty much be the end of those Paired Hill champions. Oh, maybe not though, because A massive charge from those Haven Knights, doing a great deal of damage to the Eldon infantry. Actually, maybe going to be enough to rout them. Possibly. Nope. Looks like just barely not going to be enough to rout them, but still, there are some Morkuni Glade Masters here on the flank, crushing through those Tunarasty Spearmen. And we've also got some Mithrander's Retinue, though, in the background of the red team forces charging into the archers. There's also some Penithgalen Cavalry charging into the Paired Hill Champions. Gonna just try to silence those guys, in fact going to rout them, which is very good, because those were getting a huge amount of kills.
Victory will be ours.
And it looks like that'll probably be just about it for the red team. You can see most of their, basically all their infantry is done. Basically the only thing we got left are those Tarnastan Spearmen who just routed, and then these 17 Haven Knights, as well as those Knights of Minimas, who were not really doing anything as far as I could tell. So maybe a bit of misplay there by Safey there for not really using his Knight. But still a very close battle. I enjoyed it a lot. It was pretty chaotic. I liked it. Unfortunately, I think the biggest mistake was probably Arthedain charging in by himself, because he kind of got double teamed by Gondor and Dorwinion at the same time, and Dol Amroth just wasn't really keeping up with his ally, unfortunately. And that was basically the whole reason behind the defeat of the red team. But it looks like there's quite a few frames left, so it looks like Safey and Ladderskard are going to be running around with their cavalry for the rest of the game, so we'll go ahead and speed it up, because I don't really think you guys really would want to see just cavalry running around after archers this whole time. But we'll see. It won't be that long, especially on the 6 times. You can see some Dorwinion cavalry going to try to do what they can against the knights, but not going to be able to do too much damage. Oh. Yeah, you can see just a bunch of running around going on. Looks like red team just trying to get some last-minute kills here. Looks like that's going to be the end of the Glade Lords. Oh, but looks like a lot of the Knights of Numinos are also down. Only down to 6 men remaining. Yeah, only like 3 men now. 3 Stalkers as well as 7 Glade Lords, so that'll be the end of the Knights of Numinos pretty much. There might be 1 or 2 left, but I'd be surprised if the Glade Lords can't win.
The enemy general lies
and yeah,
dead.
Looks like the Glade Lords aren't going to be able to win.
The enemy army flees
and looks
the
like that'll
field.
be it.
Pursue and run them down.
Maybe not? There's a lot of frames left. Where are the Oh, never mind. Yeah, there's still Haven Knights. Haven Knights are running around still. But yeah, it was a good battle. I liked it. It was very aggressive, not too long, not too short, I don't really think. Lots of interesting tactics being played here. Well, there's actually 2 units of guards of his guy. I think there's only 1. They're both down to around 40-ish, 40-50 men-ish. Oh, come on, Grimladris. Just, it's done for you. You're not going to be able to get that many kills. Just let it happen. And yeah, looks like that's going to be the end of Dol Amroth there.
Victory is ours.
Okay, the most kills went to Allfather with 1,300. I'm going to take a quick look at the exact kills. Morkuni Glade Lord's getting 205, his Stalker's getting 160 and 130, Glade Master's getting 130, and his Glade Guard also did well. You can see his Elven Infantry not doing too well, but that's, again, not their job. Their job is not to get kills, it's to hold the line. Morkuni Pikes did okay, and Elven Marksman did meh. Yeah, that'll pretty much be the end of this one. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you did. If you did not, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it in the next one. So farewell, wherever you fare, till your eyes receive you, at your journey's end.